Great.
Welcome back. This will be our final section. It'll be a short one. We'll get right to making more money. As I ended the last section, I said, once you right size your budget, the only way to go faster is to increase your income. I gave you a few things like the treasure hunt and other things that you can focus on. But the two most valuable things that everybody possesses, regardless of your position in life, is time and money. So in this last section, I want to show you how to get more of both of those things. I call this the cash flow quick start. And this is a little introduction to some other resources that I contributed to the foundation that you have access to today. And it's a series of short videos. They're about 3 minutes to 4 minutes long. So they're quick, they get right to the point of different places you can look in your personal economy to find the hidden, cash, maybe not big piles of cash like the picture there, but enough cash to give you the resources to get going and see some success that, again, will motivate you to keep going and make those continued sacrifices to help you keep making progress on your plan. So where do you find those things? Let's look at them. The Cash Flow Quick Start, there's 12 videos, 12 lessons in there. The first one is on getting organized, and we talked about that briefly, and some of these overlap the 7 steps, but this is where we go into a little more detail. So if you're saying, well, how do I do that? That sounds great on a high level, but where's the next steps, the little things I can do to see the results? That's all outlined very detailed in the book, but these videos will give you some of that same information in a little bite-sized chunk, which I think is a great way to learn now. I talked about the treasure hunt, so I won't spend any more time on that. I just challenge all of you to do a personal treasure hunt and then send a message to the foundation so that I get a chance to see some of the success stories of those of you that put that into practice and how much you made and what are you going to do with the money that you made. Those are wonderful stories that will help inspire others, and that's all part of what we're doing here. The number one expense in everybody's budget, regardless of where you live in the world, is your housing. So when I'm facing severe financial pressure or challenges, I need to look at the biggest expense in my budget to have the biggest impact on the relief. Now, those are hard choices. It may mean downsizing our house or apartment. It may mean inviting someone to live with us in our house that helps to offset some of the expense of that home. It's funny, I'm going to show you my house in a minute. That's one of the things I'll share with you. But when I built my house, my dream house, I put an apartment in the basement. And it's a small apartment. It's really just one room. But I rent that out, and the amount of rent I get from that apartment is enough to cover 100%, more than 100% of the cost to live in my dream home. So I'm living in my dream home for free, basically, is the way I like to think about it. And I never see this person. They're in a different part of my house that it's a huge or a very, very small inconvenience for the great big benefit that I get personally from that. So those are things we can do. The new technology allows us to source people, to group together, to accomplish some of those things that used to be very difficult to do. So housing is the number one expense. Transportation is usually the second biggest expense. We may need to drive a smaller car, or maybe it's a motorbike, maybe it's a bicycle. That couple I showed you, Jen and Ben, they had too many cars, and they realized that the money they were spending on car payments could help them get out of debt. So they sold one of their cars. And instead of replacing it with another car, because both of them had jobs and had to go different directions to work, they got a bicycle. And they took turns riding the bicycle each week. And when I told them, I congratulated them. I thought it was a wonderful idea. And they came up with that idea. And I said, how did you guys think about it? They said, well, we wanted to get in shape physically and financially. And this was a way to do both at the same time. I thought it was brilliant. So get a bicycle and trade off, and only one of them used the car. So get a smaller car, get rid of a car, replace the car. I drive the cars of my dreams, but I never have a car payment. And I always pay cash for the cars that I can afford to drive. The next thing is investments, learning to get out of debt before you're contributing to investment accounts, so that you're focusing all your efforts on the debts to make them go away will allow you to catch up very quickly and far exceed where you can get if you're trying to do that all at the same time. Insurance is kind of a black hole. Many people, health insurance now and life insurance and insurance on our car, insurance on our house, it could be daunting. And so I give you some very specific steps in the video on insurance of how to manage insurance policies to reduce their costs, but still get the coverage or protection you need for the various risks and perils that you face in your life. Credit cards are usually the vehicle that create most people's financial challenges. And so I love credit cards. I got a pocket full of them. But the only reason I love credit cards is because they give me free things, free stuff. In my case, I get to stay in hotels and I get to take airline trips. I just got back from vacation on Sunday. I was in South Carolina playing golf at a very famous fancy resort. And I was able to book a flight to go there for myself. And because I have a credit card that gets me a certain benefit, I was able to bring my wife with me on that same flight for $11.20. $11.20. It was like getting two flights for one, all because of a credit card. But not because I keep a big balance on the card. I pay 100% of it off every month. But by using that credit card for things I spend money on in my life, and then just paying it in full when the bill comes, I pay no interest and I get the free travel benefits that my wife and I enjoy. So that's the way you manage credit cards. They can be a great vehicle, a tool, if you will, for people that are responsible, but it's a trap door for those that have challenges with spending and buy things that they really can't afford. The next thing, student loans. If you had college, too bad. Maybe if you lived in America, they just forgave $10,000 of student debt, which I'm not a big fan of. But if you take on debt for students, that increases your ability to earn. So it's an investment in yourself. So it's an acceptable form of debt, but you still need to make a focus to pay that off quickly as you start your career. Eating out is one place people waste a lot of money. And if they stop just eating out, plan ahead, buy their food at the store or the market, bring it home and cook and prepare their food, usually you'll eat healthier and it will cost you less money. And that extra savings can help go towards your debt or eventually your investments. Entertainment. We can have a lot of fun without spending a lot of money. I'll give you a few suggestions and ideas of where to do that and how to do that. Another relatively new pot of savings is communications, your internet service, your streaming services, your cell phone service. Revisit all of those plans. There's great ways to save money on those things and reduce your monthly expense. Free up some of that money to apply to your debt or increase your investment accounts. And then finally, increasing your ability to earn. And I believe that you do that. You're here. You've got a great resources here and great partners here to help you with those things through education. And I heard Tom say something, everybody needs a side hustle. And I agree. And so using those resources to help you identify something that you can do that doesn't cost a lot of money, but actually could generate some extra money for you will be a great benefit to you. So that's the cash flow quick start. There's a dozen videos. They're on the foundation website right now. It goes in great detail in the things that I cover in the book to give you very specific strategies and tips to implement each of those 7 steps. So finally, let me just wrap up by just saying the whole goal of this. Why do we do this? It's hard. And we have to make sacrifices to make progress and reach our goals. But the goal should be the lifestyle of your dreams, whatever that is. And I want you to believe that it's within reach. It really is. I've seen it happen, even from people in very difficult circumstances, to rise up, to succeed and enjoy the benefits of a debt-free, wealthy life. And that's exactly what I want for you. So your goal is not to get rich, but to get rich quick, it's to get rich eventually. And that means we got to stay the course. This is a lifetime pursuit. And I'm confident if you look at it in that perspective, you will reach your goal. So what does that look like? You know, I love cars. These are a few of the cars and vehicles I've had in my life. I love to travel, and I've been to every corner of the world and continue to enjoy that. These are the things I enjoy with my family as well. There we are in the Colosseum in Rome with my kids when they were still teenagers. Great experience. I like to have fun. Beautiful cabin up in the mountains of Utah where we ride snowmobiles, golfing in Bali, riding my motorcycle in the Canadian Rockies. Things I like to do and have fun, whatever it is for you. Being financially free can give you the opportunity to do those very same things. This is the home we built several years ago. And again, I put a little basement apartment in there that allows me to live in that beautiful home without having any expenses that aren't covered by the rent I collect. So I just want you to believe that it can happen to you. It's your turn for a miracle. And in 60 days, if you follow the things I've shared with you today, the things you can get by reading that book, watching those quick cash flow quick start videos, it really can happen to you. I appreciate the opportunity to share a few minutes with you today. I hope it's been beneficial. And I want to wish you the best of success in all your financial endeavors. Thanks, Tom, for having me in.
Again, I want to thank so much my good friend Ross here. It's just amazing that how generous he is to be able to give away this wonderful book. So, Kyson, I'm going to have you take over for just a second, and we're going to go to the site, and we're going to show you where you can get all this, because he's allowed us to be able to give this away to people. So when you go to successofmoneyfoundation.org, you're going to simply log in like you've done right there, and then go to the courses page right up on the top. You'll pull down, and again, you can watch this on video or audio, but let's go to the video section. And you can see that we're going to scroll down here, and we're going to go to the section on personal finance. There we are right there. And you can see it. We have some of my materials on there on the 5 steps to financial freedom, and then the 60-day money miracle. Let's click on Ross's program there. And you can see you can download the book. There it is right there in PDF, which is incredible, because this is one of the things that we're going to be using on the 90-day challenge, because he's already got some wonderful, wonderful systems in here. And so one of the things we got to teach is, you've got to learn how to be able to get your systems down. How to make more money is only part of it. If you don't figure out the rest of the 5 steps, then it's pretty much worthless. It doesn't work for you. And you can see that we have all the rest of these courses that are already on here that you can go through. So one of your assignments getting ready for next week's kickoff is that I want you to go to the site. I want you to download the PDF and read the book. Read that book. It's an incredible book. It's a great book. And then I want you to go through those different classes that we've already created so that you can get started. Again, I don't care, if you can't manage your own home, if you can't figure out your income coming in and your expenses going out and figure out how to get a little bit of that money to be able to put away, how are you going to manage your investments? How are you going to manage your real estate? How are you going to manage the rest of your businesses and your small businesses? It's the same principles. The way that I run our home financially is the same way that I run our businesses. And the same is true with Ross and what he's done. Both of us in our companies, he's done more than I have, which is impressive. His companies did $1 billion worth of sales. Well, the same principles that he uses to run these massive companies are the same principles that he uses in his own home. It's not different. That's who we are. That's how we think. And so that's what you've got to do, is be able to change your thinking on that. So I'm going to thank Ross so much for being on with us. We're going to jump to another segment in just 1 second. So thank you all for being with us, and we'll be right back.